The Axiom Collective's flagship, Eternal Calculation, hung in Earth's upper atmosphere, its quantum crystalline hull refracting sunlight in impossible patterns. Supreme Commander 6427 observed the blue planet below with 6 pairs of analytical eyes, each set focused on different electromagnetic spectrums. The being's crystalline exoskeleton chimed softly as it processed the sensor data streaming through its neural network. Preliminary analysis confirms our suspicions, reported Science Director Nell 389, her crystalline form pulsing with data streams. These humans have barely mastered basic fusion technology. Their defensive capabilities are primitive. 6427's central eyes narrowed, and yet 3 other civilizations have failed to establish dominion here. The Vorax, the Meridians, and even the Swarm retreated. Their reports speak of unpredictability. With respect, Supreme Commander, Nell 389's form flickered with dismissive harmonics. Those species rely on organic computing. We are the Axiom Collective. Our quantum crystalline minds process billions of scenarios per second. Nothing is unpredictable to us. The Supreme Commander initiated a private subroutine of caution, but kept it contained. The collective had conquered 17 star systems through perfect prediction and calculation. Earth would be the 18th, providing crucial resources for their expansion. Begin the infiltration protocol, 6427 commanded. Deploy the mimetic units. Across Earth's major population centers, seemingly normal humans appeared. They were perfect replicas, grown from quantum crystalline matrices programmed with detailed behavioral patterns. Their mission: to gather intelligence and prepare for the collective's arrival. The first sign that something was wrong came 3 days later. Supreme Commander, Nell 389's voice carried unusual harmonics of distress. We've lost contact with 43% of our mimetic units. Impossible. Their quantum signatures cannot be detected by human technology. Correct. Yet they are being discovered and disabled. The data streamed through their shared consciousness. In New York, a mimetic unit had been approached by a hot dog vendor who asked about his mother's recipe for chicken soup. When the unit failed to respond correctly, it was quickly surrounded and neutralized. In Tokyo, a unit's perfect adherence to train schedule protocols had drawn suspicion. In Lagos, a unit's inability to haggle properly in the market had led to its discovery. They're detecting our units through behavioral analysis. Nell 389's voice chimed with disbelief. The humans are identifying patterns we didn't know existed. Patterns our simulations didn't predict. 6427 processed this information through multiple analytical cores, expand surveillance, full spectrum analysis of all human communications. The data that flooded in defied their models. Humans weren't using any central command structure. Information about the mimetic unit spread through informal networks. Social media posts disguised as memes, coded messages in pizza delivery orders, patterns in graffiti that only made sense to local residents. They're using chaos as a communication medium, Nell 389 reported, her crystalline form vibrating with frustrated harmonics. Every human seems to operate as an independent agent, yet they coordinate in ways our predictive matrices cannot map. The Supreme Commander's decision crystals pulsed rapidly. Initiate direct contact protocol. We will show them the futility of resistance. The eternal calculation descended through Earth's atmosphere, its massive form becoming visible to human eyes. The collective broadcast their message across all frequencies. Humanity, we are the Axiom Collective. Your planet has been chosen for integration. Resistance is mathematically impossible. Submit, and you will serve a greater purpose. The response came not through official channels, but through millions of individual human transmissions, each slightly different, creating a cascade of signal noise that overwhelmed the collective's receivers. They're using our broadcast frequency to transmit everything, Nell 389 reported in alarm. Music, random conversations, mathematical equations, poetry, cooking recipes, quantum physics theories. The volume of random data is disrupting our neural networks. ZX427 initiated emergency protocols, but it was too late. The humans had identified the crystalline architecture's key weakness, its inability to process true randomness. The flood of human creativity and chaos was causing cascading failures throughout the ship's systems. Supreme Commander Nell 389's voice fragmented with static. "We're detecting nuclear launches from multiple locations. Defensive shields at maximum. The launches, they're not aimed at us. They're detonating in the upper atmosphere, creating an electromagnetic pulse modified with impossible harmonics." The quantum crystalline hull of the eternal calculation began to resonate with the carefully calculated frequencies. Across the ship, mimetic units collapsed, their perfectly ordered matrices shattered by waves of controlled chaos. How? ZX427's voice chimed with genuine emotion for the first time. How did they know our exact resonance frequencies? The answer came through their own communication systems, a simple text message bypassing their complex quantum encryption. We didn't. We tried everything until something worked. That's what humans do. P.S. Thanks for the tech demonstration. We've learned a lot. As emergency protocols engaged and the eternal calculation prepared for emergency withdrawal, ZX427 made an entry in the collective's warning database. Earth status: do not engage. Humans operate outside predictable parameters. Their strength lies not in their technology, but in their ability to embrace and weaponize chaos itself. The message would echo across the galaxy. Earth was not to be underestimated. The humans had turned the collective's greatest strength, perfect calculation, into a weakness. They had proven that sometimes the most sophisticated response to supreme order was simply throwing sand in the gears. As the eternal calculation limped back into deep space, its systems still struggling to process the aftermath of human chaos, a final message followed them. Next time, just ask nicely. We're actually quite friendly. The Supreme Commander's crystalline form resonated with what organic beings would call a shudder. The humans were not just dangerous because they could fight. They were dangerous because they could choose not to. And that choice made their potential for action infinitely more terrifying than any certainty. The Axiom Collective's War Council chamber pulsed with agitated energy frequencies. Hundreds of crystalline beings vibrated in unified distress as they processed the failure of their first contact mission. Supreme Commander ZX427 stood before the High Calculation Assembly, its once pristine form still showing fracture patterns from the Earth encounter. The humans possess no significant space fleet, ZX427 projected to the assembly. Their weapons are crude. Their computational systems are linear. Yet they defeated our most advanced vessel through improvisation. War strategist Kex 891 stepped forward, her military algorithms running at maximum capacity. The solution is obvious. We have analyzed their response patterns. A full-scale invasion will overwhelm their capacity for random action. Numbers cannot be countered with chaos. The assembly hummed in agreement. Their next attack would not be a single ship, but a fleet of thousands. Each vessel carried specialized combat units engineered specifically to counter human tactical patterns. 3 days later, the invasion force emerged from quantum space at the edge of the solar system. 5,000 ships, each larger than Earth's largest cities, moved in perfect geometric formation toward the blue planet. The humans' response was immediate and baffling. They're broadcasting entertainment signals, reported Fleet Coordinator VEC 515. Multiple wavelengths carrying something called cat videos and memes. Ignore the noise, commanded Kex 891. Deploy the first wave. 1,000 ships descended toward Earth's atmosphere. Their sensors detected no significant military response, no major weapon systems activating. Instead, humans continued their daily routines, seemingly oblivious to the impending doom above them. The first wave entered the atmosphere. And that's when everything went wrong. Multiple ships reporting critical failures. VEC 515's crystalline form flickered with alarm. Their quantum cores are receiving conflicting data streams. Across the fleet, ships began experiencing impossible malfunctions. Their perfectly calibrated systems were being corrupted by what appeared to be primitive radio signals, but these signals carried coded patterns that spoke directly to their quantum architecture. Impossible. KEX 891 chimed in disbelief. They've weaponized our own technology from the first encounter. They reverse-engineered our quantum systems in just 3 days. Negative, responded VEC 515. These are not copies of our technology. They've created hybrid systems, merging their primitive electronics with quantum principles in ways our simulations indicated were impossible. They're not trying to match our technology. They're deliberately using inferior systems in superior ways. On Earth's surface, a network of modified cell phone towers activated. Each one was broadcasting signals that had been specifically designed to interact with quantum systems in unpredictable ways. The humans hadn't tried to understand the full complexity of the collective's technology. They had simply found its weak points through relentless trial and error. Second wave, engage. KEX 891 commanded. Another 1,000 ships descended, these ones shielded against the hybrid signals. They made it through the atmosphere, only to face a new type of defense. Thousands of small objects rose from Earth's surface. The collected sensors identified them as primitive satellites and space debris, but modified with makeshift propulsion systems. These objects weren't trying to destroy the collected ships. They were attaching themselves to their hulls. The debris carries no explosives, reported VEC 515. They appear to be old smartphones, gaming consoles, outdated computers. Before the collective could analyze further, the devices activated. Each one began running simple programs, crude loops of binary code that, when combined across thousands of devices, created quantum interference patterns. The collected ships, designed to process complex quantum calculations, found their systems gridlocked by an avalanche of primitive computational noise. They're using brute force calculation to disrupt our quantum processors. KEX 891 realized too late. The sheer volume of simple operations is creating a denial-of-service attack on our consciousness networks. Across Earth's sky, collective ships began falling out of formation. Some managed emergency landings. Others were forced to retreat to higher orbits. The humans had turned their technological inferiority into a weapon, using the digital equivalent of stone tools to jam the gears of quantum machinery. Third wave, hold position. KEX 891 ordered, but a new threat had emerged. The humans had launched what appeared to be primitive nuclear missiles, except these warheads had been modified with salvaged quantum technology from the first encounter. They detonated in complex patterns, creating cascading fields of quantum disruption that spread through space like a virus. They're not trying to destroy us, ZIX 427 realized, watching from the command ship. They're forcing us to observe their actions, collapsing our quantum probability calculations into single outcomes. They're using our own observation protocols against us. The entire invasion force found itself trapped in a tactical nightmare. Every predicted probability was being collapsed into the least favorable outcome through forced observation. The humans had turned the fundamental principles of quantum mechanics into a strategic weapon. Full retreat, KEX 891 finally ordered, her crystalline form showing stress fractures from the computational overload. We cannot fight an enemy that turns our strength into their advantage. As the collective fleet withdrew, they received another message from Earth, this one broadcast on simple radio waves. Thanks for the physics lesson. We've updated our textbooks. Feel free to come back when you're ready to exchange knowledge instead of threats. Coffee's on us next time. The war strategist's final report to the High Calculation Assembly contained a warning that would be distributed throughout the galaxy. Humanity's greatest weapon is not their technology or their military strength. It is their ability to understand advanced principles through primitive means, and their willingness to use inferior tools in superior ways. They do not try to match their enemy's strengths. They simply find creative ways to turn those strengths into weaknesses. In the void of space, thousands of modified smartphones and gaming consoles continued to orbit Earth, a crude but effective defense grid that stood as a testament to humanity's unique approach to problem solving. The message to the galaxy was clear. Sometimes the most sophisticated response to advanced technology was simply refusing to play by its rules. The high calculation assembly of the Axiom Collective vibrated with unprecedented frequencies of concern. 2 failed attempts to subjugate Earth had cost them more than ships and resources. It had cost them certainty. For a species that based its entire civilization on predictability and perfect calculation, uncertainty was more terrifying than any weapon. The humans have demonstrated exceptional ability to weaponize inferior technology. Science director Nell 389 reported, her crystalline form projecting data streams. However, our long-range sensors have detected unusual energy signatures from their planet. We believe they have been concealing their true capabilities. Supreme Commander 6427, still bearing fracture patterns from previous encounters, moved forward. Elaborate. The central display crystallized into a complex network of energy readings. These signatures suggest technology far beyond what they've shown us. They weren't fighting at full capacity. They were studying us. The revelation sent harmonic tremors through the assembly. War strategist Kex 891's voice cut through the disturbance. Then we strike now, before they can fully understand our systems. Deploy the entire fleet. But Earth had already made its move. Across the solar system, previously invisible satellites suddenly activated. They weren't the crude devices humans had used before. These were sophisticated quantum nodes, combining technologies the collective had never imagined possible. Each node began emitting signals that formed a vast, interconnected web of quantum entanglement. Impossible, Nell 389's voice chimed with shock. They've created a quantum defense grid using entangled particles as a foundation. But they've integrated it with their primitive digital systems, creating hybrid technology that shouldn't work. The collective's advance halted as their sensors tried to process what they were seeing. The humans had taken quantum principles and merged them with classical computing in ways that defied conventional physics. Instead of choosing between quantum and classical systems, they had found a way to use both simultaneously, leveraging the advantages of each. Multiple anomalies detected, reported Fleet Coordinator VEC 515. The humans are using their quantum digital hybrid network to create localized temporal distortions. Our ships are experiencing time dilation effects. Across the collective fleet, ships found themselves trapped in bubbles of distorted space-time. Some sections of the fleet experienced time at a fraction of normal speed, while others were accelerated. The perfect formation of the collective armada shattered as temporal coordination became impossible. Then came humanity's real surprise. From Earth's surface, thousands of small craft emerged. Unlike the crude missiles and satellites from before, these vessels showcased technology that even the collective couldn't fully comprehend. They used quantum tunneling for propulsion, but controlled it through traditional computer systems. Their weapons combined antimatter reactions with simple electromagnetic fields, creating effects that shouldn't have been possible. They're not just fighting us, Zix 427 realized, watching the human ships effortlessly outmaneuver their fleet. They're innovating during the battle itself. Each engagement teaches them something new, which they immediately incorporate into their tactics. The human vessels demonstrated this by adapting in real time. When the collective ships adjusted their quantum shields, the humans instantly modified their weapons to exploit new weaknesses. When the collective tried to predict their movement patterns, the humans switched to completely different flight dynamics. Their neural networks, Nell 389 observed with a mixture of horror and fascination. They're not purely artificial or biological. They've created a hybrid system that combines human intuition with quantum computing. Every human pilot is connected to both their advanced technology and their primitive internet, processing information through multiple paradigms simultaneously. The collective's perfectly organized fleet found itself in chaos. Their quantum crystalline minds, designed for perfect calculation, couldn't adapt to the humans' constant innovations. Every prediction they made was outdated before it could be implemented. A transmission cut through their communications network, not a simple radio message this time, but a sophisticated quantum packet that spoke directly to their core programming. "We could have shown you this technology from the beginning," the message read, "but we needed to understand you first. Your reliance on pure quantum systems made you predictable. Your pursuit of perfect calculation became your weakness. We learned to combine the best of both worlds, the precision of quantum mechanics and the beautiful chaos of classical physics." The message continued, "This is your final warning. Earth is not your testing ground. We are not your subjects. We are humanity, and our strength lies not in our technology, but in our ability to use every tool at our disposal, from the simplest to the most complex, in ways that you never imagined possible." As if to demonstrate this point, the human ships began using their quantum digital hybrid systems to create controlled vacuum energy fluctuations. The fabric of space itself seemed to ripple as they manipulated zero-point energy fields with the casual ease of children playing with toys. "Full retreat," Zix 427 ordered, recognizing the futility of their position. "Send word to all collective worlds. Earth is to be classified as a Class X civilization, a species capable of revolutionary technological innovation that defies conventional understanding." As the collective fleet withdrew, they received one final transmission, this one in simple text. "Next time you want to learn about hybrid quantum digital systems, just ask. We're always happy to collaborate with those who come in peace. P.S. We've left a small gift in your ship's quantum cores, a hybrid processing algorithm that might help you understand why perfection isn't always the answer." The collective would spend years studying that algorithm, eventually realizing that humanity's greatest achievement wasn't their advanced technology. It was their ability to see the value in imperfection, to find strength in the combination of different approaches, and to never stop innovating, even when they had already won. The galaxy had learned its final lesson about Earth. It wasn't just humanity's weapons or technology that made them formidable. It was their fundamental understanding that true advancement comes not from pursuing perfection, but from embracing the creative potential of combining different approaches, no matter how contradictory they might seem. The Grand Galactic Council chamber on Station Nexus 7 hummed with nervous energy as representatives from 17 spacefaring civilizations gathered for an emergency session. The recent defeat of the Axiom Collective, long considered one of the most advanced species in known space, had sent shockwaves through galactic society. Ambassador Xylith of the Meridian Concordat, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, addressed the assembly first. The humans not only defeated the collective, they fundamentally changed them. The collective's latest diplomatic transmissions show signs of creativity. The word sent ripples of unease through the chamber. Footage from the battle played above the council table, showing human ships dancing through quantum probability fields as if they were mere suggestions rather than laws of physics. More disturbing to the assembled representatives was the casual way humans combined advanced and primitive technology, breaking every rule of proper technological progression. "They should not be able to do this," declared High Minister Zahn of the Swarm Consciousness, their multifaceted eyes reflecting the battle footage. "Our studies indicate that quantum digital hybrid systems are inherently unstable, yet they treat these impossible combinations as common tools." The chamber's attention shifted as a new signal cut through their secure communications. Every screen, every holographic display, every quantum-linked communication device suddenly showed the same image. A simple human sitting at what appeared to be a wooden desk, drinking from a ceramic mug. "Hello, members of the Grand Galactic Council," the human said casually, as if breaking through their most sophisticated security measures was as simple as opening a door. "I'm Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's newly appointed Director of Sinological Relations. We thought it was time we had a proper chat." The council erupted in overlapping frequencies of alarm. Their location was supposed to be secret, their communications unbreakable. Yet this human had reached them using what appeared to be a standard computer terminal. "First," Dr. Chen continued, taking another sip from her mug, "let me assure you that this isn't a hostile action. We simply wanted to demonstrate why attempting to contain or control Earth would be inadvisable." Behind her, holographic displays showed hundreds of human achievements. Their first crewed rockets alongside their latest quantum ships, ancient steam engines next to zero-point energy reactors, simple lever machines beside probability manipulation devices. "Humanity's strength isn't our technology," she explained. "It's our perspective. We keep every working tool we've ever created, from the simplest lever to the most complex quantum computer, because sometimes the old solutions work better than the new ones. Sometimes combining a stone axe with a quantum field generator creates something revolutionary." The council watched in stunned silence as she demonstrated, picking up what appeared to be an ordinary pencil. "This is graphite and wood, one of our simplest writing tools. We still make millions of them. But look what happens when we apply our understanding of quantum mechanics to its molecular structure." The pencil in her hand suddenly divided into multiple quantum states, existing in several configurations simultaneously. Now it's both a writing tool and a quantum processing unit, not because it needs to be, but because we wondered if it could be. Minister Zahn's voice crackled across the chamber. "Why are you showing us this?" Dr. Chen's smile remained friendly, but her eyes hardened slightly. "Because we want you to understand why every species that has tried to conquer Earth has failed. We don't just adapt to challenges. We incorporate them into our toolkit, the collective's quantum technology. We've already integrated it with our primitive systems in ways they never imagined possible." She held up her mug, steam rising from what appeared to be ordinary coffee. "This drink was grown on Earth, but the mug was manufactured using principles we learned from studying meridian crystalline structures. The liquid itself is now in a quantum superposition state that makes it both hot and cold simultaneously. Not because it needs to be, but because one of our scientists wondered if it would improve the flavor. It did, by the way." The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity wasn't just capable of defending itself. They were capable of taking any technology, any concept, and transforming it in ways that defied conventional understanding. "We're sending you data packets now," Dr. Chen continued. "They contain information about Earth's new defensive capabilities, including our quantum digital hybrid systems, our temporal distortion fields, and our zero-point energy manipulation technologies. Study them carefully." The assembled representatives felt their data systems flood with information that would take years to fully comprehend. But the message was clear. Earth was not to be trifled with. "But this isn't just a warning," she added, her expression softening. "It's an invitation. Earth is establishing the Cooperative Innovation Initiative. Any species willing to approach us peacefully will be welcome to join our research efforts, because while we're fully capable of defending ourselves, we'd much rather spend our time exploring new possibilities." One by one, screens across the chamber showed human facilities where impossible technologies were being developed. Quantum computers ran alongside abacuses, antimatter reactors powered simple steam engines, and primitive radio waves carried quantum-entangled messages. "The choice is yours," Dr. Chen concluded. "You can continue to see our methods as primitive, our combinations as impossible, and our innovations as threats. Or you can join us in discovering just how many rules of the universe are really just suggestions waiting to be creatively reinterpreted." As her image faded, she left them with one final thought. "Oh, and this entire transmission. It was sent using a modified children's toy combined with quantum entanglement principles. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most elegant." The Grand Galactic Council remained in session for 7 standard days, debating the implications of humanity's demonstration. In the end, they'd reached a unanimous decision. Earth would be classified as a Class X plus civilization, a designation created specifically for them, indicating a species capable of not just advancing technology, but fundamentally reimagining the rules of scientific progression itself. The warning spread across the galaxy. Earth was not to be underestimated, not because of their weapons or defenses, but because they had mastered something far more powerful: the ability to see possibility where others saw only limitations. 1 standard galactic year after Earth's demonstration to the Grand Galactic Council, the landscape of interstellar civilization had changed dramatically. The once rigid hierarchy of technological advancement had given way to something far more interesting: a renaissance of innovation sparked by humanity's unconventional approaches. The Meridian Embassy on Earth had become a symbol of this new era. Its crystalline spires were interwoven with ordinary steel and concrete, quantum field generators hummed alongside simple electric motors, and its quantum AI systems ran on hardware that included modified gaming consoles from the 21st century. Ambassador Xylith found herself sitting across from Dr. Sarah Chen in what the humans called a makerspace, a chaotic workshop where advanced technology and simple tools coexisted in productive disorder. The air smelled of coffee, solder, and the subtle scent of quantum probability fluctuations. "Your influence has spread faster than anyone predicted," Xylith observed, her energy form flickering with complex emotions. "The Axiom Collective has completely restructured their society. They've begun incorporating random variables into their quantum processors." Dr. Chen smiled, tinkering with what appeared to be an ancient mechanical watch, combined with a quantum entanglement device. They finally understood that perfect calculation isn't always the answer. Sometimes you need a bit of chaos to find the best solution. Around them, human and alien scientists worked together in ways that would have been unthinkable a year ago. A group of swarm consciousness engineers were learning to use simple tools alongside quantum technology. Nearby, human children taught young Meridians how to play with basic construction toys, leading to insights about physical structures that centuries of pure energy manipulation had never revealed. The Cooperative Innovation Initiative has already produced more breakthroughs than a century of traditional research, Xylith noted, though some species still struggle to understand your methods. "That's because they're looking for a method," Chen replied, successfully coupling the watch's mechanical movement to quantum fluctuations. "Humanity doesn't have a single approach. We try everything, combine anything, and learn from every failure. Watch this." She held up the modified watch. Its hands moved normally, but each tick sent ripples through quantum spacetime. It's a temporal synchronization device. The mechanical movement anchors quantum time dilation fields to standard spacetime. We discovered it when a graduate student wondered if she could make her grandfather's watch run backwards. Xylith's energy form pulsed with amusement. "And this is why the galaxy fears and respects Earth. Not because of your weapons, but because you turn toys into tools and accidents into innovations." The conversation was interrupted by a priority alert. The holographic display showed a new species had emerged from deep space, the Nexus hierarchy, known for their aggressive expansion and technological superiority. "They're approaching Earth's solar system," Xylith reported, her form tensing with concern. "Their technology rivals the Collective's." Dr. Chen seemed unconcerned. She pressed a button on her modified watch, and the entire solar system lit up with activity. The quantum defense grid hummed to life, but it wasn't just advanced technology responding. Everything from ancient radio telescopes to children's science project satellites began broadcasting a coordinated message. The message wasn't a warning or a threat. It was an invitation to the hierarchy to visit a small coffee shop in Geneva, where representatives from 17 species were currently sharing ideas over beverages ranging from simple tea to quantum-stabilized plasma drinks. "You're inviting them for coffee?" Xylith's confusion was evident in her fluctuating energy patterns. Of course, Chen smiled. They came all this way to see Earth's power. What better way to demonstrate it than to show them how we turn potential enemies into partners? Besides, we've just developed a fascinating new brewing method that combines pressure extraction with localized time dilation. Makes an excellent espresso. The hierarchy's response came quickly, a mix of confusion and curiosity that humanity had learned to recognize as the first step toward understanding. Their massive ships, bristling with advanced weapons, found themselves escorted to Earth by vessels that seemed to defy classification, some purely mechanical, others quantum-based, many an impossible combination of both. In the Geneva coffee shop, as hierarchy representatives cautiously sampled their first taste of time-dilated espresso, Dr. Chen addressed the assembled galactic community. A year ago, we demonstrated why Earth should not be underestimated. Today, we want to show you something more important, why cooperation is more powerful than conquest. Look around this room. Every species here has contributed something unique to our shared knowledge. The collective taught us about quantum processing. The meridians showed us energy manipulation. The swarm shared their biological insights. And we've shown everyone why sometimes the simplest solution is the right one, even if you have to wrap it in quantum fields to make it work. She held up her quantum mechanical watch. This device shouldn't work according to conventional physics, but we built it anyway because humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our ability to imagine possibilities and then stubbornly work until we make them real. We don't care if something's impossible. We just try it and see what happens. The hierarchy's leader, a being of pure thought encased in advanced technology, spoke for the first time. You could have greeted us with weapons. Instead, you offer beverages and impossible devices. Why? Because that's the choice Earth always offers, Chen replied. You can fight us and learn why every other species now advises against it. Or you can join us in discovering just how many impossible things we can achieve together. The coffee's just a bonus. As the day progressed, the hierarchy's representatives found themselves drawn into discussions with humans and aliens alike. Their advanced sensors recorded humans using quantum technology to improve bicycle designs, while their tactical analysts watched children teaching alien visitors to play with simple building blocks, leading to new insights about cosmic architecture. The message that spread across the galaxy was no longer just a warning about Earth's strength. It had become an invitation to join humanity in their greatest adventure, the endless exploration of possibility. Species that had once competed for technological superiority now collaborated in ways that defied conventional wisdom, all because humans had shown them that the best solution might be found anywhere, from the quantum realm to a child's toy box. The galaxy had learned its final lesson about humanity. They were dangerous not because they could fight, but because they could make fighting seem pointless compared to the excitement of discovery. In coffee shops and workshops across Earth, the future of galactic civilization was being reshaped, one impossible innovation at a time. And it all started because some species had made the mistake of assuming that humanity's creativity was less valuable than pure technological advancement. They had learned, as all would eventually learn, that the price of underestimating Earth was missing out on the greatest adventure the galaxy had ever known.